What is good, everyone? This is your host, Deanna Radulescu with Label Free Podcast. Live your best life. You must live label free. I'm super excited. We've got a very, very cool guest. He's actually a previous guest. He joined us about a year ago when he wrote his first book. And so he's a published author. He has got a new book coming out called Focus Polar. Please welcome Daniel Hess. Daniel, woo woo!
How's it going? How's it going? Thanks so much for having me.
Oh my gosh, it's great to see you again, have you back. You're doing great things and you're feeling good. So actually, let's kind of update the audience since it's been a year. What has been going on?
Well, I mean, it seems like it's been more than a year with everything that's happened on this side of the fence. I mean, the big thing was back in January of actually this year, I had open heart surgery for a birth defect that I was born with called aortic valve stenosis. Basically, when my heart pumps blood, some of it was leaking back into the heart when it shouldn't. So, all my life, it's been something that's been monitored. And then the last couple of years, it kind of got to a point where it was, let's check on it every 6 months because we really want to be cautious. So finally, it came down in December of 2021 that, it looks like we're at surgery time. So set everything up, and on January 14th had open heart surgery, which went as smooth as it could possibly go. Recovery still took about a couple months before I got to what I'd say 100%. But since then, it has been a wonderful year, and finally got everything together to get the book out and about to everybody, and things have just been moving.
Yeah, you've always got something going on. I love all your updates on Facebook. So it's, what's been great about being a podcaster and meeting so many different people all over the world is that I'm now connected to you guys forever. And so when we connect on social media or whatever platform, it's great to see their updates and just kind of stay close in a sense, after like recording with you and hearing your story and sharing it to my audience. So I loved your last book because that was a book of poems, right? And so now this is a novel. So tell us about this new book.
Yeah, so this is a novel that kind of comes from a semi-autobiographical place. It kind of reflects on, my life and looking back on different stories and things like that. But it's told through, it's a different character with different names, different people. And it just kind of explores this person's life, good and bad, and also takes moments to sort of have the characters he's had relationships with reflect back as well. So you sort of get two sides to a coin where you get his own reflections and then also these reflections from people he's had relationships with, again, both good and bad.
Sure.
And it just sort of follows along in a very slice of life style with these small little vignettes for each story that sort of takes place throughout this character's life.
Wow. That's very cool. And so you said it's a semi-autobiography, so it's inspired by your life?
Yeah, so a lot of different stories and things like that I felt like I kind of needed to get out on the page as sort of a way to share it with others, but also just, bigger moments that I've kind of been through.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was another one of those semi-cathartic sort of exercises to get those things out onto paper.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I can only imagine. So now this is your second book, right? Is there any other ones? Any private ones that you're writing behind the scenes?
No, I mean, other ones that are on the horizon, but yeah, no other secret published ones.
So what do you expect people to get out of this book? I know a poem book, a book full of poems is a little bit different. It's going to tug at the heartstrings a little bit more, and it's going to be a little bit different than a novel semi-autobiography. What are you hoping people get out of this new book?
I mean, my biggest thing is I hope people kind of take away a sense of freedom to explore like their own life as well. My biggest thing is kind of trying to be a very transparent person and really share stories that I have that aren't necessarily the most beautiful painted pictures, and then also these moments of bliss. So I really hope when people read it, they for one get a sense of this character of this person, but on the other hand also have this like newfound confidence in themselves to be able to say, maybe there's something that they went through that was kind of tough in their life, and they might feel a little more open about exploring it or sharing it with others, and trying to work through that process of, overcoming obstacles and hurdles of what we've kind of been through in our own lives.
Yeah, so more of a way of like connecting with people that might have similar experiences, and maybe have allowing them to see things from a different point of view reading your novel.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I think that when you, I don't know, so I'm getting ready to publish a book. We've started the first
Awesome.
stages, but it's like really going to be based upon my guests. I'm handpicking my guests, and I'm going to be, developing the book over the next couple months. And
Mhm.
I've been, oh my goodness, like sorry, I had a call just come in, and that it's connected to Warren, edit this out. It's connected to my MacBook, man. I'm telling you, like I'm still getting used to this computer. I'm used to like a regular PC.
Oh yeah, I'm
Very
a
different.
PC guy. Exactly. I wouldn't know what to do.
Very different. I mean, whatever. Anyways, so I really admire authors. I really admire you guys for being able to sit down and put a book together. I mean, I told you I have all these poems. I still have a ton of poems. Like I just would like to put, and I'm going to do that one day. But I'm starting off with I think is like the most sensible move of, promoting the podcast in a sense, and the guests that have been on it, and like sending it out there into the world with our message.
Hmm.
So, but I've procrastinated for months.
It's tough. That's one of the biggest things. Like, I know for me, like especially like leading up to the surgery, I had like this really strong headwind, and then as soon as that happened, it was just like I didn't want to do anything. I mean, of
Yeah.
course, I was recovering, but at the same time, it just felt like, man, am I ever gonna get this energy back up to make this thing happen and stuff? And it's tough. I mean, there's just so much going on all the time that it's really hard to like keep momentum going for certain like creative projects because we're
Oh
just
yeah.
trying out there to make it work day to day.
Well, as an artist, because I think as authors, myself, we're all like creative, artistic people in a sense. We're using that side of our brain that maybe other people that are more logical don't tap into. And so I create a lot of content for some of my clients, and I'm telling you, if I'm doing that a lot throughout the day, I like burn that side of myself out, and I have to take a break because then I start
Hmm.
staring at the screen like, oh my gosh. So I can't even imagine that whole process with writing, especially if it's a novel. It's not actually like, it's stories that you've experienced, but not necessarily like your real life. So you're making it up as you go, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I mean that's definitely one of the hardest things is like some days, even in my best efforts, like writing is just really hard, and you just don't manage to get any words on the page. And then there's other days where you kind of just have this crazy flow, and all of a sudden you've written like 3 chapters in one sitting.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, it really all depends. I mean, for me personally, because just like, yeah, you'll have really strong days, you'll have kind of weaker days, and
Yeah.
then with this book, especially, like just having days where you're trying to tell a story that is, a little bit tougher to kind of get out there. So like that mental kind of blockage could really like slow things down for me a little bit. But yeah, it was just that process of like baby step by baby step that really built things up to, making it into a full blown novel.
Hello, my faithful friends. This episode is brought to you by Brian Tracy. That's right, New York Times bestselling author, internationally renowned success expert, thought leader, and one of the best professional speakers today. We are offering you a 6-figure speaker free ebook. This course is designed for those who want to learn, develop, or improve the skill set required to speak confidently and effectively in front of an audience. So if you are one of these people, don't hesitate on this free offer and go click the link in bio. So now when you're recovering, and I'm so glad that you're doing much better, and I've watched someone go through open heart surgery, and it's a very intense experience from someone on the other side, not only the patient, and just that recovery process is really difficult too. So I'm very happy to see that you're doing well and you're recovered. When
Thank
you
you.
were going through that recovery phase, did you get inspired by anything new?
So, that's the thing. I wish I could say that there was something that was like very inspiring through that whole instance. But really, it was just my focus was so much on getting used to so many different things.
Yeah.
Like, I really like I've talked to friends about it, but one of the weirdest things is, for me, I always had kind of like a lower like heart rate.
Okay.
So just getting used to like my heart rate being completely different than it's been my whole life was just weird. Like sleeping was really weird, because I have a
It went
mechanic.
faster.
Yeah, it was just faster. So it's like
Oh
I was so
wow.
used to this like slow like heart rate because I was usually around like anywhere from like 90 to maybe 100 on the higher end. But now it's like 120, which is of course healthy, but
Right.
like it's very foreign to me.
Hmm.
So between that, also it being like a mechanical valve, especially when I'm in a small room, I can actually hear it kind of
Yeah.
making like a ticking noise.
My lady
So
had that too. And so
yeah,
you're on blood thinner, so you got to take your every day, right? You,
so it's not every day, luckily. It's every couple weeks at this point. I get like a blood draw, and then they look at my INR level.
there you go.
Yep. And so for me, it's got to be between 2 and 3. So we've kind of found a good spot with the warfarin regimen and everything.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, even that, like I have to watch what I eat now because I can't eat spinach and like leafy greens because of
Which
vitamin
is
K.
good for you, but because of the mechanical valve and the blood thinners, it affects that level. Yeah, I
Hmm.
know that. So during that time for me with my late husband, was having dialysis, and
Oh, wow.
oh gosh, now he had two blocked arteries, and something with his valve was not closing all the way, so he needed a mechanical valve, and um he did not take care of himself well enough during that. After he had that done, he ended up
Hmm.
popping a blood vessel in his
Oh,
lung.
goodness. Wow.
Oh yeah, you just got to be really careful with that, and just watching someone go through that is really tough, but it sounds like you got a good handle on it, so yay. Keep it
Yes.
that way, damn it, we want more
ex-
out of you.
exactly. I'll try to keep it going as best I can.
And I know you were in like production, like video production and stuff, so are you still working on projects like that?
Yeah, so actually right now, a little bit after the surgery, I got to talking with a friend in LA, and since we were chatting, I'm now helping him out with feature film out there. And so it's a horror film, like ultra low budget, but I'm helping with like associate producing the film. And
Very cool.
the plan right now is to go out in end of July for a couple weeks for me to be on set to help. And then, of course, all the lead up that's been going into the project, I've been kind of there with him, helping when I can.
See, look at that. That's amazing. And that's very exciting. So are you looking forward to that?
Yeah, I mean, it'll be my first time being in LA proper. So it'll be an interesting, I've been out to California, but not LA. So it'll be fun
Oh
to see the
yeah.
city.
Everybody, well, I mean, I love California. I used to love California. I don't know what it's like now after this pandemic, but I used
Hmm.
to go out to LA, Santa Monica, and just hang out, go to Melrose Avenue, and it's a lot of fun. But people are fake. Everybody
Yeah.
wants to know somebody to get somewhere, blah 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 blah, whatever. But I think a lot of people are like that in this world. It's not just in LA.
I was gonna say, yeah, I feel like I've seen the same thing even here in Baltimore. So I'm kind of getting better accustomed to that, knowing how to weed people like that out,
Oh, for
you know.
sure. So where can people support you? When's the book out? Is it out now or is it coming out?
So it comes out June 6th, 2022. That's the official date for
Very
it.
cool. And where is it going
Yep.
to be available?
So it'll definitely be on Amazon, and then I'm also working with indie bookstores across the country right now, just doing outreach. I have a few that have already said they'll have copies when it becomes available, but I'm still kind of building that network out. And as that grows, I'll be making updates like on my website and everything for people to check out if it's around them locally.
And what is your website?
The website is twotonyproductions.com. And from there, it has, links to just a separate page for the book. And then it also has, all the updates and stuff from the homepage that people can kind of check out.
Very cool. And are you on social media?
Yeah, so people can find me over on Instagram, on Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn. all those fun places. Still haven't made the jump to TikTok though.
I have, shamelessly. I've made the jump. I'm not on there as much as I am on Instagram and all the other stuff, but this is my life, so I gotta do it. You know what
No,
I mean?
I know a lot of people are doing it and a lot of people having good success with it. I've just like feel like there's so much as it is. I just
There is.
yeah.
Yeah, whatever. It's all good. You'll get there, I'm
Hmm.
sure. You'll
Exactly.
maybe when you're out there in California, you'll get inspired to start doing TikToks. You'll do
Yeah,
like.
somebody will be like, "Yep." Be like, "Get on a TikTok with me. Do a TikTok dance."
So aside from the film, the feature film out in LA, what's next for you?
Well, I have two other film scripts that are all written and ready to go, that I'm actually kind of working through the process of communicating with like producers, financing, all that fun stuff. So hopefully in the next year or so, there'll be some like official traction with some financing and things like that. But yeah, those are the two kind of like other big projects that I'm working on at the same time right now.
Very cool. Well, I'm excited for you. It's
Thank
like
you.
it's so great to catch up and hear what's going on and seeing you smiling and healthy and all these exciting things going on. Oh my gosh. So I'm like looking forward to the next thing. And so you'll have to come back again. You
Exactly.
know.
Just a
But
once a year check-in.
yeah, that's right. Hey, man, this is what people do. Just check in
Uh-huh.
with each other, make sure everything's okay, get some updates, and yeah, then off to the races. But
Exactly.
you guys, I'll put all those links in the show notes, so don't hesitate. The best way to support people like Daniel and myself is to go follow us on social media, go purchase a book, go support us, and listen to the episodes, share the book, all those good things. That is the best way how you can support us in what we do. So
Hmm.
Daniel, we're getting a little close on time, and I always like to ask at the end for any last words of wisdom or advice from my guests. So, what would you like to share with the audience today?
Yeah, I mean, I just like to tell people that, whatever obstacles or things, that are kind of getting in the way or just issues with life, it's like, all about baby steps for
Yeah,
me. That's been the biggest thing. It's like you can't build a house without a foundation, right? So you just take it day by day, step by step, whatever thing you're trying to pursue or anything like that. Most things don't just happen overnight. It's really a process. And if you love it and you love what you're doing with it, just keep pushing away and eventually something will happen. There'll be a big change and yeah, you'll just keep growing and keep going. So just don't give up on that.
I love that. I can agree more. I mean, you got to trust the process. Sometimes we have to go through certain struggles to get to the other side of something that maybe we thought we were over, but we didn't really get over, and we have to go back and learn the lesson again. And I myself, I mean, I've shared with the audience, I've gone through a lot of stuff, and I think this has been the most enjoyable, happy, peaceful time in my life, and I've gone through a lot to get here. So damn it, I'm not letting it go.
Exactly.
I earned this happiness. I earned this peace. You're not taking it away from me.
Nope. I love it.
Yeah, well, it's been so great to connect with you. Keep us posted with anything new. I know this is coming out June 6th, so we'll keep an eye out for your book, but I know that there is more great things in store for you. So I can't wait to hear what's next.
Thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure as always.
Aw, thanks, Daniel. You guys, this is your host, Deanna Radulescu with Label Free Podcast. Live your best life. You must live label free. Please don't forget to follow, subscribe, share, rate, review, all those good things. And I'll be back soon with more dynamic guests.